different approach for Mike Petke. He's going to play players in 30-minute bursts, but he is starting with what is very much his strongest lineup of the night, and that includes the likes of Rusnak, Plata, and Savarino.
Not just Savarino, Jefferson Savarino from Venezuela, and a guy that can give you a lot in terms of his ability in one-on-one situation. Joao Plata on the other side also can create on his own.
But we'll see him later on tonight. As for Manchester United, strong-looking side right from the off again, and a four-man backline today with Jones and Lindelof anchoring the centre.
Who cares? Who cares? This is all about Romelu Lukaku. It's the only story that's been worth talking about in this transfer market. Everybody has made a big deal out of it. Let's see the big man tonight against Real Salt Lake.
Another newer name for United fans, perhaps Scott shirted RSL tonight. RSL coming into this knowing they have a competitive game to play in just 48 hours. Well, similar sort of sloppy start at the back we saw on Saturday night. A cheap giveaway. Can United prosper? They can't this time from it. Shot dragged wide. Jose Mourinho it will have to get rid of that little statistic, weren't they? 15 draws last year in the English Premier League. A chance. Offside flag goes up against Lingard, but those 15 draws certainly primarily responsible for them finishing so far for the base. And so many of those draws at home, Ali.
And the fact that they were not able to put...
Second team of RSL, and they took over the first team 3 games in. That's an exciting burst from Rusnak, who's really lit it up. Lukaku, meanwhile, wheeling and dealing. Jesse Lingard helping it on. McTominay weighing it up, and not far wide. Scott McTominay, the 20-year-old. A good look at goal. Rangy midfielder who made his Premier League debut at the end of last season against Arsenal.
Patient build-up by Manchester United. McTominay.
Perhaps sort of result that turns the season around as Joel Pereira. Now it's enterprising play from Plata. Plata continuing the run. This is good stuff from Real Salt Lake. Didn't hear the footsteps behind him. Now Plata. Back to him from Rusnak. Plata's shot. Oh, the velocity.
Push this ball at the defender. He's got to come at you. That creates space for Rusnak. He doesn't.
Try and make the most of the 30 minutes or so that they're going to get. And here's another chance for Plata, who bends it, and Pereira needs 2 grabs to haul it in. Joel Pereira, young Portuguese keeper for United, called into action.
Manchester United having difficulties defending in wider positions. A good drop off by Luis Silva. It's a good look. Joao Plata hits it well.
This is Fosu Mensah. Just a pace or so behind was Romelu Lukaku, stretching to get there.
Beautiful look at wide by Mkhitaryan. Fosu Mensah adding himself into the attack. The movement by Lukaku, trying to find space into the box. Justin Glad does just enough to get his body on him. The ball
off control from Plata. Luis Silva helping it back to him. Plata bursting through, and it was a last-ditch challenge.
Combination by Joao Plata. Good look again by Luis Silva. Beautiful touch in the path of Joao Plata, and this is wonderful defending, responsible defending by Jesse Lingard, who stays with his runner, able to create.
Savarino. Another exciting burst from him. A good ball too, and Silva is on the end of it, and RSL have broken through, and it's been coming. Midway through the first half, Real Salt Lake striking first, and Manchester United behind.
We mentioned an earlier sequence where Joao Plata didn't really take the ball at the defender, didn't really commit the defender, and so there was no space to play the ball into. Jefferson Savarino does the opposite. He drives, and once he picks out the run of Luis Silva, slips it right by the defender, and Luis Silva, a tremendous run right off the shoulder of Phil Jones. Strength to hold him off, and then a finish. Clinical finish. Beautifully taken by Luis Silva outside of the left foot. Good run by Savarino. Powerful speed, strength. Said Lingard, get off me. And then Phil Jones, get off me. Good finish by Luis Silva. ball by Luis Silva, and then it was just a first-class finish.
Romelu Lukaku's a little outshot at the moment in terms of centre-forward play, and perhaps responding to that with a shot here there for United, Alan.
Yeah, it's a guy that you paid a chunk of money, and he has to influence the game more than he has for Manchester United.
Mkhitaryan, meanwhile, has influenced the game here and has tied it up. The man who was the star for United on Saturday night, his first good look at goal. Didn't hit it as cleanly as he was aiming to, perhaps, but it unerringly found the bottom corner. And just like that, United are level.
And you talk about taking a good first touch in a very tight space. Good hold-up play by Lukaku, running off the ball by Lingard. Then that first touch by Mkhitaryan sets his shot perfectly. Good first touch. 1, 2, see you later. It's the ability of players in tight spaces to be able to take this first touch. Justin Glad reacts to the run of Lingard, leaves Mkhitaryan alone, and then the first clean touch, he already knows he's going for a goal. Rimando, courtesy dive, never getting there.
Into the ground. Hierarchy for Mensah, a 19-year-old. Now then, Mkhitaryan. Lukaku, is this the moment for him? Still might be. Romelu Lukaku! A breakthrough for Lukaku. Composure and clinical finishing. That's what they've spent £75 million for. And United have turned a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead.
And I just got done talking about Romelu Lukaku being a presence inside the 18-yard box. Beautiful service by Henrikh Mkhitaryan. Not the cleanest first touch, gets away from him, and he's able to get control of the ball. The defending by Real Soleil all over the place. Goalkeeper comes out, they take each other out, and at this point, as easy can be for Romelu Lukaku.
As you said, the first touch heavy, but the second touch, the recovery, delightful. It took out both defender and goalkeeper. Left him with a fairly simple task. The first of what they... Now Lingard has opened up the defence again, but offside this time against Mkhitaryan. The 28-year-old Armenian.
Mkhitaryan does have the ability not only to pick out passes, as we have seen him in this first half, but
Mkhitaryan might have been hoping to meet up with his Armenian teammate here above City today as Lukaku sets his sights once more. Dragging at the shot. Lukaku to bring it back, and they had let go 4 years previously. Here's Anthony Martial, another young player trying to make his mark after a somewhat underwhelming...
It's a good first touch by Antonio Martial, but Aaron Munn stays with him defensively. Good tackle. This is a nice touch. His ability to get the ball in his path, tries to use his speed. Good tackle by Munn.
Nicely flighted cross, Smalling away. He wasn't under any real duress, the follow-up shot. Tough to keep it down.
Can't quite get his body position right. He's reaching for this ball, trying to hit it off the short hop. Slices across the ball, and it's always going to fade right. Marcelo Silva backpedaling all over the place. Had enough space to take the shot on, doesn't, and this is a unnecessary clumsy.
You have experience of Antonio Valencia firsthand, Ali, don't you?
And I've seen a lot of this from Antonio Valencia as well. How is this not a yellow card?
Ecuador versus Venezuela.
There you go.
Came up against
there you go.
Valencia. Well, we won't be seeing any more of Valencia. That's why he didn't show the yellow card. He's decided to show the red. Somewhat of a rarity in an international friendly. You have to the Real Monarchs for a while. Marcus Rashford delivering the cross, put it on a tee, didn't he, really, for around Fellaini.
It's a beautifully driven ball by Marcus Rashford, and Fellaini simply mistimes the jump, and the header doesn't make any sort of clean contact.
A sense of adventure. This breaks kindly for Daniel Haber. Squares it. The shot is still on for Mulholland. Oh, we would have loved that. The boy from Preston. Adventurous build-up again.
Haber with his head up finds a player on top of 18 yards.
Schuler there to deal with the cross in again from Pereira. Oh, it's a great service. What a cross that was from Pereira. Smalling rose to meet it. Couldn't keep his header down.
Good driven ball in by Pereira to the back post. Chris Smalling, some separation with the defender. He gets lost in the shuffle, and this is a wide open header. 3 yards out. It's got to be on target.
Done, but the paperwork, remember, didn't go through. And at the last minute, the deal was on. Time, David Moy certainly wasn't. That header comes in to Lolo Fernandez from Schuler. Particularly since the Glazers took over. 9 or 10 trips here since 2003. Paul Pogba, left-hand side from Dimitri Mitchell. Now Martial. It's opened up for Anthony Martial. Ever signed in world football.
Chris Schuler struggling with the speed of Martial as he cuts inside. Schuler takes a whole lot longer to turn. He can't quite defend it, and this has got to be a